Welcome back. This is Jacqueline Fish reading Writing with the Moon. We are still working through the introduction, and we will finish that section in this audio. Choosing what to write. The advice in these pages will help you write whatever is on your heart. Books, poems, website copy, emails, social posts, memes, a screenplay, and even an epic text message or love letter. No matter what you choose to write, the advice here applies to everything. The members in my online writing community, which I've led since 2018, have worked on all the projects I just mentioned and more. Since my clients mainly work on books and entrepreneurial writing, most of the suggestions you'll find here align with these kinds of projects. You don't need to make your living as a writer to take advantage of the advice in the following pages. You might love writing, and I hope you do, or simply see writing as a powerful tool for communicating. It is, and use the suggestions here to help you bring your creative projects to life, get ahead in your career, share the words on your heart, or maybe all of these. Whether you already love writing or you discover or rediscover your fondness for the craft, you'll relish this cyclical writing adventure even more. In short, the more you enjoy writing, the more you'll want to write. So while it may feel challenging at first, like any skill, you'll improve as you dedicate yourself to practicing. The thing about writing is that when you're not writing, you may either feel a buildup of inspiration or you may feel full of cobwebs. But once you begin writing, it's often like turning on a faucet, with more pressure built up than you thought. All sorts of ideas might come up, and you might wonder which one you should follow. Just know in this situation that there is no wrong thing to write. As long as you choose with your heart, you'll always pick the perfect topic. It's only when the ego creeps in that we begin to second guess our hearts or think we know better than divine inspiration. Writing with the moon requires surrender and trust. Now, if you have so many writing ideas that you don't know which one to choose, you're not alone. I hear this from a lot of entrepreneurs and aspiring authors. First-time authors and new bloggers aren't the only ones with this perceived block. I also hear similar sentiments from second and third-time authors, as well as people with tons of published work. Writers usually share 3 and sometimes 4 or more ideas with me. If they're trying to choose a book idea, they look something like this. I have an online course, and I could easily turn it into a business book. It would be the smart thing to do. I've started writing about my personal experiences with topic. There's this idea for fiction I want to write about that feels really exciting. I'm almost done with the draft of my book about topic, so I could finish it and get it out there the fastest. While these potential authors share their ideas so that I'll give them my expert opinion, what I do is feel their energy around each topic. I can usually immediately tell which book the writer should pick, but that's not my decision. It's one their soul already knows. Sure, you could side with your brain on this choice and finish the almost finished book, but are you excited about it? You could focus on the book that will grow your business, but how much will your business actually grow when your heart is focused somewhere else and you're forcing yourself to make it happen? You could write the book that feels like an easy win, then cross write book off your to-do list to be able to go on to write the next book. But how does that feel? You may be surprised to learn that the writing I most feel is aligned with someone is not the book they describe with half a dozen shoulds, or the one that seems smart, or the one that will skyrocket their business and make a boatload of money. The book the writer should write is the one their soul wants to write. I can practically hear you asking, but how do I know what my soul wants to write? From my perspective, it's the one that, when you talk about it, your voice is a little shaky with enthusiasm. The one you keep circling back to, yet won't focus on. The one that lights you up when you mention it. If you're still unsure on your end, though, listen to your body. Which ideas make you contract? Which ones make you feel expanded? This is the internal barometer you want to use. Pause to sense which feelings happen in your body to listen to that inner voice. And if you're still not sure, number 1, ask God to show you. 2, write your list of book ideas. Notice if one you really want to write jumps out at you. 3, get quiet, Close your eyes, feel your feet on the floor, and maybe the sun on your face. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe in the knowing that you can trust yourself. Exhale, maybe forcefully, all the chatter, others' opinions, and any limiting beliefs you have about any of the books. Spend a few minutes really feeling your energy. Now visualize. Let's say you see a book. See yourself writing your book, feeling completely in flow and totally free. Imagine holding your book out in front of you, sharing it with readers who have been waiting for you to write it. How does it feel? Where are you? What do you notice? What are you wearing? What do you hear, smell, and taste? The book that wants to be written might have shown itself to you by now. When you see the book, you know for sure. Number 4, open your eyes and look at your list. Does one jump out at you now? If it does, notice how your body is responding. Does it feel exciting? Do you maybe feel a little nervous? Where in your body do you notice sensations? 5, if you're still unsure, try going down your list of book ideas one by one and ask your body to tell you yes or no. Your body only answers with yes and no responses. Anything more than this is your brain chiming in. We're asking the body because it's directly connected to God and can't lie. Read the list one by one and notice a yes or no, which will likely feel like expansion, yes, or contraction, no. You might feel it in your gut and solar plexus area or your heart. Simply pay attention. If these activities still don't reveal your writing project, ask yourself 2 questions. 1, if money were no object, what would I write? 2, if status were no object, what would I write? The overlap in your responses to these 2 questions will show you where your heart is right now. Whatever your answer, trust it. It's important to teach your body that you trust it because the more you do, the clearer the signals it'll give you in the future. Once you receive your answer, take action on it as quickly as possible, even if the only action you have time for in this moment is writing it on a sticky note with a few bullet points. And your other ideas? Trust that they are there for you when and if you're ready to revisit them. Keep them in a notebook or folder on your computer, knowing that when you're finished with your current project, you can come back to them. What you want to do now is give your new writing project your main focus. You might have a full-time job, an overflowing client roster, a busy family, or all 3. But yes, you can write your book no matter how busy you think you are. I've written books while working full-time for someone else, as a copywriter, and as a writing coach. I only started writing once I had kids, so it's all I know. You might write for the first 30 minutes of each day, or spend a couple hours with your book on weekend mornings. However you choose to flow with the writing, be the person with a published book. It's done, finished. Your book is out in the world, changing lives. It even changed yours while writing it. If it's another writing project you're working on, a finished website, dozens of blogs, a collection of poetry, then focus on being the person with these projects done, beautiful, and out in the world. A love note on excuses. It's important to note that there's no judging or blaming the moon, the weather, your cycle. Just as we don't point fingers at cold air for ruining our day, we prepare for the weather and put a sweater on. The moon doesn't control us. We simply get to use this energy as an opportunity, however we choose. We're not in control of external energy, but we can channel it to make the most of it and use it to work with ours, which we do control. Also, the other planets are always influencing us here on Earth. If you're interested, you can find an astrologer to help you decode what's going on in the cosmos for you personally. In the first draft of this book, I intentionally put my blinders on so as not to let any astrologer's opinions guide the writing. When doing research, I had to look things up, but I was careful to discern others' personal views from my inner guidance. What you're reading in this book isn't guidance directly from an astrologer. It's from a human tuned in, clearing my body and mind, and getting my information straight from the source. That source is God, Goddess, the divine creator we all have direct connection to. You don't need this book to access it. You already have everything you need to write. This book provides a grounded framework. While I'm sharing my understanding with you in these pages, you get to create your own writing rhythm based on what information you receive that's right for you, based on your connection with God. Some writers blame nature for why they can't write. I'm just so full of inspiration during this waxing moon that I can't get to the page. Or it's the waning moon and I hate the world, so I can't edit my blog post right now. The moon, the weather, and your body are never to blame. When you hear yourself say, I can't do this, and follow it up with because, I guarantee what comes next is an excuse. You can be a great writer who makes no excuses. At the end of the day, it's you who's accountable. How to use suggested actions and writing prompts. You'll find writing prompts for every zodiac sign and moon phase throughout this book. 480 total. Writing prompts are great for getting you started if you need a boost. Think of prompts like a launching pad or caffeine for your writing. Use them to clarify, empty out, and witness what comes up so you can come to the page as a clear vessel. The clearer the vessel, the more impactful the writing. While you might think you need to consume a bunch of information before you write or finish this book, it's not necessary. Trust that you know enough already. You can start writing with only a sliver of information. If you're following writing prompts, be aware of what's going on and what emotions are coming up. But don't believe everything you hear in your mind. Stay present to your emotions, but avoid letting them rule your day and your writing projects. Journaling your way through what's coming up can help you spot the lies and places to heal. And then you can clear the lies and heal what needs healing, all so that you can write from a place of truth. You might flow with your writing just fine without any prompts too. It's all great. If you do choose to work with suggested actions and writing prompts, choose as many as you like or do them all, keeping the following in mind. 1. Use the ones that apply to your writing project. 2. When you're journaling through a prompt, write fast without thinking. 3. Follow the writing prompts using pen and paper to slow down your thinking brain and help you get into your body. 4. Because your body is where your intuition talks to you, simply tune in and listen. 5. Writing stream of conscious style on your prompts. Jot down the first words that come to mind without judging, then launch into your writing for the day. In each section, you'll find specific recommendations for your mind, body, and spirit. Try on the suggestions for one or all of these. You'll even find some plant-based, whole food recommendations to help you fuel your writing sessions. Consider the foods that are local and in season for you as you choose what to nourish your body with. And, of course, what feels good to you. Because how we do one thing is how we do everything. Your writing output, or lack thereof, can be directly attributed to what you're putting in, or not, your body and mind. Speaking of your mind, you may want to turn off the news, stop scrolling through social media, and avoid reading about topics similar to yours in books and blogs. This is especially helpful when you're in a season of deep focus on a writing project. All that content will be available for you later when you're ready. And because writing will support your personal growth, chances are pretty high that when you've finished your writing project, you might not read the same things you're used to. Imagine all the time you'll save. Remember, writing is a holistic and holy activity, and you are the vessel. You are energy, and your energy is infused into everything you write. This is why when we write with the natural rhythms around us, internally and externally, we're harnessing the power and transforming it into our creative work. Adding journaling to your daily writing practice. The first time I heard the idea of working with the moon and a menstrual cycle several years ago, I decided to read about it and pay attention to what could positively influence my writing. At first, I didn't change anything about how I'd been working and writing. I started keeping notes and then jumped into exploring how I could apply it to writing over the course of a complete moon cycle. I invite you to do the same. Using a dedicated notebook, jot down these 5 things. For items 3 through 5, do an internet search or use an app if you have one. 1, a few words about how you feel today. 2, what season it is where you live, winter, spring, summer, fall. 3, what sun season we're in, one of the 12 zodiac signs. 4, what moon phase we're in, new, waxing, full, waning. 5, the moon sign of the day, one of the 12 zodiac signs. Optional, what day of your cycle you're on, if you have one. You might make these quick notes first thing in the morning, before bed, or both. It's a practice that'll take you no more than 5 minutes and will give you data to look back on to help you adjust your writing and life plans for the future. Feel good writing tip. When journaling, you can write in any state. But if you're feeling anxious, nervous, or frustrated when writing something that someone else will read, pause and cultivate feelings of unconditional love, joy, and or gratitude for yourself. By writing from a feel-good, positive state, you'll create more good vibes around your writing practice. Your readers will notice too. How to use this book. Because this is a book you can use right away, here's the no messing around approach to help you dive in immediately and do some writing with the unique energy of today. Step 1, gather 3 pieces of information. As with the journaling guidance, each day before you write, you'll peek at 3 pieces of information. Over time, you'll become familiar with these without needing to look them up. 1, sun sign, where the sun is positioned in the zodiac today. The sun spends about a month in each sign. 2, moon sign, what sign the moon is traveling through. Again, the moon travels through a different zodiac sign every 2.5 days or so and goes through each sign in a 29.5-day moon cycle. 3, moon phase, the current moon phase, new, waxing, full, or waning. The moon goes through 4 phases that last roughly a week. For simplicity's sake, loosely consider each of the 4 moon phases as approximately a week of calendar time. So while the new moon, first quarter moon, full moon, and last quarter moon each fall at an exact time, think about being immersed in the energy of that phase for roughly a calendar week. So if a new moon is on a Monday, consider doing new moon things until Sunday or until the first quarter moon. Again, you can use an app or internet search for the current moon phase and sign. Be sure to make adjustments for your time zone. You can also check the resources section at the end of this book. Step number 2, get to know your sun, moon, and rising signs. Known in astrology as the big 3, your sun, moon, and rising signs will help you know more about yourself, as well as your particular writing style and voice. Feel free to do this first or come back to this. If you only know your sun sign, start there. You can look up that section in the book for now, or you can visit seek.com or astro.com to learn how to find your moon and rising signs, if you don't know them. You may want to revisit these 3 sections throughout the year to reflect and recenter yourself on who you truly are. In each astrological sign section of this book, read the 3 categories that follow and notice what feels true for you. Stop reading when you get to the moon phase guidance, new moon, waxing moon, etc. Right now, you're only looking for an overview of how you likely operate. 1, your sun sign. Your sun sign is where the sun was on your birthday. It's your generator, inner spark, and driving force that keeps you humming. This represents your ego and personality. 2, your rising sign. Also known as the ascendant, this is the zodiac sign that was rising over the horizon when you were born. It describes how you present yourself physically to people you meet for the first time. 3, your moon sign. We're pretty acquainted with the moon by now, so you know that the moon is your emotions, mood, and inner world. The moon receives and reflects sunlight. The people who know you best see your moon. Our inner world is how we write. So if you were to pay closer attention to any one of your big 3, it would be this one. There's also your chart ruler, progressed moon, the planets, and all kinds of fun stuff you can dig into if you're curious about astrology. We're keeping it breezy here, uncomplicating everything so that you can do what you came here to do. So you can do what you came here to do. Write, edit, publish, repeat. You'll find your own cycle within nature. For your daily writing, you'll follow 3 simple steps to gather some details about the writing mood of the day. Step number 1, Visit the sign the sun is in. Review the details of the sign and then stop before you read about the moon. We're focusing only on the sun at this step. Think of the sun as a spotlight that influences the entire month. Once you read the sun sign section, you don't need to revisit it daily unless you want a refresher. When the sun moves into the next zodiac sign, you'll then read that section. For example, if you pick up this book halfway through Taurus season, you'll read the Taurus section, stopping at the moon details, and then when the sun moves into Gemini, late May, you'll read that section. Step number 2, visit the sign the moon is in. Remember, the moon moves quickly, spending only about 2.5 days in each sign. Read the intro section of the sign the moon is in, then visit the specific moon phase we're in and review the suggested actions and prompts for that phase. Example, if it's Aquarius season, the sun is in Aquarius, and there's a full moon in Leo, you'll read the introductions for Aquarius and Leo, then review the full moon section for Leo. Once you've read these instructions, this whole process should take no more than 10 minutes. It'll take even less time once you're familiar with how to work with the materials here. Step number 3, go over the categories in each zodiac sign section. Sun dates. The sun visits each zodiac sign for about a month, so you'll have the dates handy. The date could vary by a day on either end based on where you live. Symbol. Imagery is powerful. When we have a mental picture of the mood for the day, we know what to do. If I tell you the sun is shining and rainbows are peeking out after a day of cleansing rain, how do you feel? It paints a picture. Element. There are 4 elements: air, fire, earth, and water. The elements correlate with nature's seasons. Mode. There are 3 modes: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. These signify how the sign expresses itself and moves through the world. Cardinal signs initiate, lead, and pioneer. They're action takers, ambitious, and easily start new writing projects, perhaps even setting trends. Fixed signs can hold on to things and follow through on an idea or bring stability, determination, and persistence to the page. Harness this energy to bring reliability and focus, helping you build a sustainable practice and reach your writing goals. Mutable signs adapt quickly, bringing flexibility in how you write. They are good at going with the flow and for exploring many sides of an argument or situation. Energy, masculine or feminine. This isn't about gender, but the predominant energetic quality of the sign. Ruling planets. Each sign has a planet or 2 that shows us how we can move with the day, symbolizing its core energy, motivation, and natural expression. House. One of the 12 sections of a birth chart that represents different areas of life, such as career, home, relationships, and money. Each house is associated with specific zodiac signs and planetary influences, helping to interpret how these energies can materialize in our lives. If you're new to astrology, no need to focus too much on the houses. Body parts. Understanding which parts of your body are ruled by the sign to give them some extra love and simply become more mindful of these areas. You could do a little research and support these body parts with foods, herbs, spices, or teas. Pair. Also referred to as polarity, but since duality and either-or thinking can be a trap, I prefer to see this as a pair. If finding flow feels challenging in a particular zodiac sign, we can look to the opposite sign to balance the energy. As an example, if the seriousness of Capricorn feels heavy and hard, look to the energy of the opposing sign of Cancer to bring some fluidity and emotion. Metals. You may want to choose one to keep on your writing desk or wear as jewelry. Gems. These are to keep near you while you write. You might work some of these into your writing studio decor for the whole sun sign season, or simply hold one for the daily moon sign as you journal your way through some of the writing prompts. Colors. You can work the colors into your writing space with artwork, pens, candles, and notebooks, or even paint your toenails for the whole sun sign season. For the moon of the day's colors, dress for the weather by choosing an item of clothing or jewelry to enhance the mood of that day. Flowers. You can weave these into your writing space or even look at pictures of them before you begin writing. Essential oils. Diffuse some in your space or wear them diluted with a carrier oil such as sunflower or jojoba on your skin. Mantras. Knowing the kinds of things each sign might say gives us a handy guide for how to move through our writing project for the day. Keywords. Use these actual words in your writing or editing, or simply embody the energy. A single keyword can spark tons of inspiration. Scan the list and write down any that jump out at you. If you're reading these in the context of the sun sign season, you can use your favorites of these words as themes for the month. If you're looking at these in the context of the moon, use them for daily writing, or try some mashups by playing with the keywords of the sun sign season paired with the moon of the day. Content inspiration. If you're not sure what to write about, consider writing on one of these topics. As with keywords, if you're reading these in the context of the sun sign season, you can write about these topics within the month. If you're looking at these in the context of the moon, use these for daily writing or try some mashups by playing with the content of the sun sign season paired with the moon of the day. Writing with this sign. This section shows you the qualities of each sign and how you can best use the energy in your writing. High and low vibe expressions. This will show you how to embody the energy of the day's moon sign for feel-good writing. You'll also see some areas to keep a lookout for to keep your mood high vibe. Nourishing body, mind, and spirit. Because we're whole beings, we consider all three. Actions. Suggested actions follow for each moon phase with 4 sets of actions in each sign. Writing prompts. Discover 10 prompts per moon phase. Intuitive writing and editing. Last, I want to revisit the topic of intuition because it's crucial in all you're going to be doing in your writing projects. The process I recommend for writing and editing is to use your intuition first. Your intuition speaks to you through your body, not your brain. I wrote the book on this process. It's called Intuitive Writing. Well, I'd love it if you read that book too. You do not need to read it before you begin writing with the guidance in these pages. Intuitive writing is a write while you read book. So even if you think you want to read it first, there's no procrastination around here, only writing. Here's all you need to know about intuitive writing and editing while working with the moon. 1. For the first half of the moon cycle, from the new moon until the full moon, the moon is waxing. Use this to write. Write what I call a surrendered first draft, SFD. Notice this is not a shitty first draft, as you may have known it. The next point explains the SFD. 2. While you're writing quickly, you're fully present, which means no editing. Writing without editing as you go might be the biggest habit change you'll make with this process. It takes practice, but you can do it. Editing while writing slows us down. It taps into the thinking brain, which can lead to the overthinking brain. We know how far overthinking gets us, not very far at all. So I invite you to suspend the belief that you need to edit as you write. Writing fast without stopping is like writing as if you don't have a backspace button. To help you write quickly, here are some strategies I love. A. Write without looking at the screen so you can't see the red squiggly lines. B. Look out the window or continually scroll up so you can't see the page. C. Write in your native language and edit in the language you're publishing in. D. Give yourself less time to write, which will prompt you to move faster. E. Make the font super small or remove your glasses if you wear them so you can't see what you wrote. F. Write fast until around the full moon, or keep going until a few days after the full moon. The trick is to notice if you're full or empty. If you feel sufficiently emptied out every time you come to the page, you're doing it wonderfully. When you feel like you've written everything you can, switch to editing. G. Let your draft sit for at least a day or up to a month. If your book pours out in a couple of weeks, let it rest for at least a week before you dive back in. Let the words settle. When you go in to read, edit, and refine, the work will flow more smoothly. H. During the waning moon, from the full moon to the new moon, read, refine, and edit what you wrote during the first 2 weeks of the moon cycle. Work in layers. As you read the guidance for each moon sign, you'll use the advice to help you edit with the mood of the day. Editing is never boring with fresh energy every couple of days. To layer your edits, Try a fast edit first, only fixing typos and the stuff your spelling and grammar checker flags. Then work in additional layers, a section at a time, adding emotions, sprinkling in personality, and tweaking whatever else your work needs. Intuitive editing is quick and doesn't second guess, just like intuitive writing. A few final words before you jump in. I'm excited for you to begin this process, and hopefully you'll find it as fulfilling and grounding as I and all the creators I coach do. Before you get started, some reminders to carry with you. We write with the moon's energy while paying attention to the essence of the sun to get out of our heads and into our bodies. Our heads are still necessary, and there's a time and place for thinking with our left brains, but we don't want to be tapping into our brains for the entirety of our writing projects. It'll get too heady, and that's where we might feel ourselves overthinking and overanalyzing, leading to the land of inaction, a land we drive directly past as writers. Big or small, action is the goal. Even if your action is 5 minutes of planning, that's enough. When you begin working with the rhythms of your body and the moon, it might feel a little foreign at first as you get to know your body's signals and learn to trust them, especially if you're used to pushing through and following what you see everyone else around you writing. Or maybe you're on the opposite end and are ignoring your writing. It's taking up space in your brain just about every day, and you keep trying to find the time to write. I say this in quotes because you and I both know how finding the time goes. If this is your first time listening to your body and intentionally going with the flow, it might take some time to get there. If you have a menstrual cycle, it might align with the moon phases, but no worries if it doesn't. You might find that over time, your cycle will naturally sync up with the moon as you pay attention to what's going on with your body and the moon. If you have a cycle and it doesn't sync up, see this as a bonus. You get 2 opportunities a month to experience the power of a full moon and ovulation. It's like double the power. Finally, I designed this book so you can jump in no matter what time of year, season, or moon we're in. Many fresh starts suggest you wait to start until a Monday, the first day of a new month, or a new year, but not here. Around here, we go. We take fast action and get our writing done. Besides, chances are you've been stalling on your writing project for long enough already. This book is the antidote to blocks, overthinking, and procrastination. Even if you didn't plan on writing or editing today, guess what? You have everything you need to dive in. And perhaps most important to remember, this is not about being perfectly aligned with every nuance of the moon. Even if you only do select activities or are close to the cycles, the point is that your writing and your life becomes more intentional. And that connection to nature and its rhythms is a beautiful thing, no matter how you make it work for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading of Writing with the Moon. This is Jacqueline Fish, the author and narrator. I'll be back in the next section to begin part 2, and we are going to dive into Aries.